Now let us know where to invest, when to invest, what to invest, and how to invest. This we have mentioned as Wealthy Plus. Wealth Plus means the investment should add income and value. So we have mentioned that as Wealthy Plus. 4 types of investments required based on risk involved. And let us try to understand the nature of assets which are and risk involved investment in those assets. Let us go first with liquid asset. There is no risk at all. Liquid asset means cash required for 3 months expenditure and to meet maintenance expenditure and to meet unexpected unforeseen events. Now we are experiencing the difficulty of financial position during pandemic situation. To overcome that financial problems during pandemic situation, this liquid cash will help to comfortably without financial stress and which makes life comfortable. Another type of no risk asset is government securities, maybe national savings certificates, public provident fund, post office recurrent deposits, any other certificate issued by the central government or state government. There is no risk at all. The government will pay the amount investment on the date of maturity along with interest or monthly installments, quarterly installments, half-yearly installments of interest. So this is the asset where there is no risk at all to the investor. Whether it is called investor or deposit or savings, whatever you call, that is the investment that will come back with additional income on that investment after some time on the date of maturity. So these securities doesn't carry any risk at all. The investment will be refunded, issued income, monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, yearly or on maturity also. So these are the issued by government, there is no risk at all. Another no risk asset is bank deposits. Bank deposits, until now there is no defaulter, there is no default made by scheduled banks to the depositors. Maybe cooperative banks were defaulted, but not the scheduled banks. Any bank, maybe it is a Yes Bank or maybe any other nationalized bank, private bank, never defaulted deposits to the depositors on date of maturity. There may be a loss to shareholders, but not loss to depositors. Every depositor's investment is protected with income, safety, and liquidity. So there is no risk on bank deposits as of now in India. There is no risk at all because all the deposits are protected and all the loans given against by using the deposit funds are fully secured and regularly monitored by the central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India. So the bank deposits are no risk at all to the depositor. Maybe as stated earlier, there may be risk on deposits made with cooperative banks or private financial institutions, companies, but there is no risk to bank deposits. Next, another no risk asset is insurance policies. Many of the insurance policies are given by nearly 3/4 of the insurance business is handled by Life Insurance Corporation of India, that is LIC. And now the other companies also entered into life insurance business, maybe State Bank of India, HDFC, all banks are entered into insurance business. In the same way, there is no risk at all to insurance premiums paid by the premium policy holders because all these companies are having sufficient assets to repay the insurance policy holders on maturity without any risk. Any insurance company, maybe SBI Insurance, HDFC Insurance, all insurance companies are having support of bankers as well as good reputation of repayment of insurance policies, insurance on maturity. One more asset, there is no risk at all to the insurance policy holder. Now let us see what are the low risk assets. Means there was no risk at all. Means the investment will come back, will be repaid to the investor on maturity with additional income. But there is no risk at all. That is fully secured. Now let us go for assets of low risk. The risk may be due to market demand or secondary market or price fluctuations. Something may be different, but risk is very less. Those assets are gold, jewelry, diamonds. These assets doesn't carry any risk at all because we have seen the gold price was 500, 600 rupees 50 years back. Now it went up to 50,000 rupees per 10 grams. 100 times appreciation. Means there is appreciation on the value of investments made. So there is no risk. Risk may be there. Those who have purchased at the rate of higher prices, maybe silver, you can take example. There's may people purchased at the rate of 71, 75, 72,000, but they may be incurring loss now because of the rate reduced to 60,000 like that. But when it comes to gold, also the same situation. Sometimes it is increased depending upon market condition, market demand. It reduces to normal levels. So risk is there, but risk is very less in these assets. The same way, another low risk asset is real estate. Property purchased or land purchased, commercial property purchased, go downs, plots, etc. Any asset has increased value but not reduced its value. Maybe 5%, 10% properties may have reduced their value from peak levels, but when it is purchased at the lowest level of price, at the lowest market price, it will yield good results because of shortage of land for carrying on commercial agricultural operations. So land is always a demanded asset. Maybe land with structure for residential, commercial, go downs, etc. But all these will be having the building superstructure value may be reduced, but the land value will increase. That will compensate the loss of superstructure value with increase in the value of land. So this is also low risk asset. Of course, there may be some properties which reduce the value because of shifting commercial place. Suppose we can say at Hyderabad, earlier once upon a time Orbis was considered as a highest marketplace, but now it became not that much attractive compared to other places because of spread of market to other areas also. So this may be some risk in some areas, some realistic problem, but many of the cases there is no risk at all if you start investment at the lowest price. And another low risk asset is business assets. Business assets means investment in own business or partnerships or shares in a company or any other way involved in commercial activities. Purchase of plots, doing real estate business or carrying on bricks business or carrying on jewelry business or any business. You become a partner or you become a carry on yourself as a proprietor. Risk is there, but risk is very less compared to other high risk assets, either risk businesses. And this is one of the business asset is one of the low risk asset, low risk investment for the depositors, for investors. Next, another low risk assets are lease or marketing rights, fixed and flexible period. Suppose a commercial property is there, you take it on lease for a longer period. The lease rights will enhance the value, it will ensure income. Lease ending period also you will get at least your investment back. Means the risk is very less, and also regularly the investor will get income as rental income, though may be paying rent to the landowners 50%, 40%, 25% of the income earned, but the gap between the actual receipts and amount paid to the landowner may be very wide. Means he may gain more for longer period. Sometimes there may be vacant, sometimes there may be full demand. Of course, to overcome that, the demand and slack period, longer lease period will ensure sufficient income to the investor. This is also one of the low risk asset. Next, let us go for another section, medium risk investments, where the risk is medium, means it is not low nor no or high. So such medium risk investments are, we can say, mutual funds, units, bonds, ESOPs, etc. All these investments are dependent on the share market. Fluctuations happen in share market. And these mutual funds, of course, in individual, when you cannot have idea of investing directly in the shares of equity shares of a company, investment through mutual funds means in turn mutual funds will use the money of the investor to invest in the share market, initial subscriber or as speculative market, as lender or any other way. The mutual funds will make investment, or so the risk will be reduced so that the investment is safe and income is assured, and liquidity is issued to the investor. So this is medium risk, one of the medium risk asset. Then because the share price depends upon the fluctuation share market, in the same way it affects the market value of units held by the investor, and that also may reduce if the share market price is reduced, and that may increase if the price is increased, share market prices increase, share market is flourished. Next, another medium risk asset is stocks. Generally every businessman will have stocks, closing stocks of finished products, raw products, work in progress, commodities also. So these stocks will be generally assessed or valued at the cost price, and it will be sold at the market price. There will be a gap between the sale price and cost price is a margin. So that any risk is there, cost price of the stocks will always be lesser than the sale price, market sale price of the product. So loss of value or damage or anything, maybe in very rare cases. So stocks are one of the medium risk assets for investors, carrying on their own business as proprietor or entering into partnership with others. Another medium risk asset is personal assets like vehicles, personal belongings, or we can say other assets also, maybe furniture, maybe some items used for personal nature, that also medium risk assets. Vehicles are there. If you purchase a vehicle, you can use and you can sell it after some time, means the risk is less. Of course, you may not get the same price of the purchase price, but you may get some price, 70%, 80% within a short period. If it is 50%, if it is 3 years or 4 years used, because of you will get the benefit of gains on using the vehicle, and also you can get back your money to the extent of 40 to 50, 60% on sale of asset. So this is one of the medium risk asset like vehicles or personal belongings also. Another medium risk asset is development agreements in real estate. Many of the landowners doesn't have capacity or efficiency, maybe knowledge to develop their own, to construct the properties, is residential, commercial or anything. They enter into agreement with companies, real estate builders, contractors as development agreement, and they will look after the construction activity and they will assure some share of the sale value to the landowners. For the businessmen who are carrying on construction activity as developers or builders, risk is there but not high risk. It is only medium risk. They may get more price also for their investment, more gains also for the investment. In some cases, they may incur loss because of heavy borrowing or loss of stocks or loss of some other dispute, maybe with the landowners or dispute with the title of the land or something like that. It is in very rare cases, but in majority of the cases, the development agreements are beneficial to real estate developers, builders, contractors, and this is one of the medium risk assets. Now let us go to high risk assets. What are the high risk assets? Investment in equity shares. Investment in equity shares are subject to market risk, and market is volatile now because sometimes it may increase, some shares may increase, some shares may come down, sometimes all shares may increase, sometimes all shares may come down. This is drastic effect on the market because depending upon any situation, any vulnerable situation happened in anywhere of the world. Sometimes even anything happened in US, anything happened in UK, or anything happened in Australia also, in Japan also may affect the share market in India. In the same way, the investment share market is always risky. It carries high risk because issued price of 900 shares may also come down to 100 rupees, 200 rupees like that. Sometimes even 10 rupees share also achieve 500, 600 rupees. So there is the wide gaps are there. So that risk can be mitigated by investing at the low price and enhancing gains by selling at the high price. But if you enter into the high price, at the rate of high price, you may always have the possibility of incurring high loss. So this is high risk asset, is investment in shares. Another high risk asset is financial instruments, commercial papers, loans, debentures. Now we can see because of pandemic situation, many commercial organizations are reporting losses. They are eroding their capital. The borrowers may file bankruptcy cases against the lenders, cannot take action against the borrowers. These financial instruments are commercial papers or loans or debentures, sometimes may cause risk, high risk to the investors. It is very rare cases. Generally debentures are secured by trust and bonds issued by companies, and shareholders are more risk than the debenture holders. Any loans are given priority to repay before repayment to the shareholders. So these investments are risky but not that much risk as compared to shares in equity shares. Investments in equity shares, these financial instruments may incur losses if the company closes its operations, or if the organization is wind up or closed due to operations or seized due to some illegal or unaccounted or unlawful activity. So that may be in such circumstances the commercial unit may incur in losses, and that is the investment becomes the loan given to or debentures purchased for the company will be at high risk. Another high risk asset is futures and options, speculations of commodities and shares. In the case of speculative market in commodities and shares, there is no actual delivery. Without holding any shares or stocks, the sellers will sell and the purchaser will buy, and at the time of settlement period, during the settlement period, the purchaser will sell and the seller will buy. Means the account will be settled in such a way that there will not be any balance outstanding of deemed holdings. It is not actual stocks, but actual delivery is better than this speculative investment in shares and commodities. Where there is no actual delivery, there is no actual transport, actual transfer of asset and actual passing of assets, and that will create lot of fluctuations in the market. In the Indian share market, nearly more than 90% of the business is in the name of speculation market, that is without delivery, and that is causing a lot of fluctuation in the market. If it is based on actual delivery, shares or commodities, the real picture will come out, and but not based on delivery because of no actual transfer of stocks, transportation. Risk involved in dealing with speculative commodities and shares is very high, hence it is termed as high risk asset. Another high risk asset is copyrights and IPRs. Generally, copyrights and IPRs are protected by international laws, domestic laws. Every copyright holder, intellectual property rights holder will be protected, given priority of the ownership of the process or product or research or innovation or anything. But sometimes, very rare cases, there may be copyright cases by opponents, by other persons which were done unknowingly, without done unintentionally, and that may give a lot of trouble to the investor. So that investment should be avoided unless you are the real creator. Don't go for investment on copyrights or IPRs unless you are the real inventor or you are the part of the initial promoter or subscriber. If you depend on somebody's creation, innovation, there may be a risk of copyrights or intellectual property rights claims by the made claims earlier that may not be possible, that may not be known to the investor. So this is also one of the high risk asset. So based on this classification of no risk, low risk, medium risk, high risk assets, the investor has to invest his savings, 1/4 in no risk, 1/4 in low risk, 1/4 in medium risk, and another 1/4 in high risk. So the possibility of high risk assets will earn higher income, but also there is a risk of losing entire investment. Medium risk, protection of investment will be there, income may not come, investment also may come back with reduced returns. The same way, low risk also, there may be loss of income, but investments will come back. And in no risk, there is no risk at all, and investment will come back to the investor with additional income, may be small, but it will come back to the investor. So based on this analysis has been made, the investors are advised to take expert opinion before going for any investment, before going for any lending, before going for any entering into business or property, anything. Better to take advice of expert opinion and then proceed. That will give a lot of comfort, confidence and credibility to the investments made.